900,000 years ago, the Earth was a vastly different world. Our planet was home to numerous species, and early humans, Homo erectus, were just beginning to carve out their place in the world. These early humans had spread across parts of Africa, Europe, and Asia, adapting to their environments with the use of basic tools, fire, and cooperation. They were not the only hominins on the planet at the time, as other species such as Homo habilis and early Neanderthals existed alongside them. However, it was Homo erectus who would leave the most lasting imprint on human evolution. They lived in small groups, relied on rudimentary tools, and were beginning to establish the foundations for what would eventually become modern humanity. Yet, in the grand scheme of things, these early humans were still vulnerable to the harsh forces of nature. What no one could have predicted is that a cataclysmic event, thousands of miles away from where they lived, would come to shape the future of humanity. This event would bring humans to the brink of extinction. The year is 74,000 years ago, not 900,000 as we start, but at this moment, deep beneath the Earth's surface on the island of Sumatra in Indonesia, something monumental was brewing. Beneath the surface, pressure had been building for millennia in a supervolcano, the Toba supervolcano. Known to us now, but hidden from the humans of that time, this eruption would prove to be one of the largest and most powerful volcanic events in Earth's history. Toba's eruption would change the fate of humanity forever. When it erupted, it released an estimated 2,800 cubic kilometers of volcanic ash and gases into the atmosphere. This explosion sent ash soaring high into the atmosphere and spread across the globe, far beyond the island of Sumatra. The eruption itself was violent beyond comprehension. It was one of the largest known eruptions on Earth, dwarfing any volcanic event in modern history. The immediate effects were devastating. The explosion destroyed everything in its path, sending lava, ash, and gases everywhere. The fallout from this eruption would not only reshape the local landscape, but also alter the entire global climate. The ash that was thrown into the atmosphere formed a thick, dark blanket that blocked out sunlight for months, plunging the planet into a volcanic winter. The eruption wasn't just a regional disaster. It was a global one. As the thick ash clouds filled the sky, the planet's temperature began to drop. The sun was blotted out, and the Earth was plunged into a prolonged period of extreme cold. Scientists believe that global temperatures dropped by as much as 10 degrees Celsius. This sudden and drastic cooling caused a severe global climate shift, with freezing temperatures, disrupted weather patterns, and massive food shortages. Crops failed, ecosystems collapsed, and the Earth became a frozen wasteland. The eruption's environmental effects were felt worldwide. From the frozen tundra of the northern latitudes to the tropical forests of Southeast Asia, life was struggling to adapt to this new, harsh world. In the face of this global disaster, early humans faced an existential crisis. For those scattered groups of Homo erectus across Africa and Eurasia, the catastrophic volcanic winter proved to be a massive threat to their survival. With food sources decimated, the animals they hunted either dying off or migrating to safer areas, and temperatures plummeting, humanity was on the brink of extinction. Early humans were already living on the edge of survival, and now they were confronted by a world that was rapidly becoming uninhabitable. They had to adapt, and quickly. The most unsettling evidence comes from genetic studies that suggest a genetic bottleneck occurred as a result of the eruption. What this means is that humanity's population was reduced to a very small number. Estimates suggest that as few as 1,000 humans, perhaps even fewer, managed to survive the devastation of the Toba eruption. The majority of humans perished, leaving only a handful of survivors scattered across small, isolated groups. These survivors were the ancestors of all modern humans. How did these tiny bands of humans manage to survive such an apocalyptic event? The answer lies in the power of cooperation, innovation, and adaptation. With their very survival at stake, early humans likely relied on each other more than ever before. Small groups, forced into isolation due to the harsh climate, would have had to work together to share food, resources, and shelter. The use of fire, which was already crucial for warmth and cooking, became even more vital in such a cold world. Social bonds likely strengthened, as cooperation became the key to survival. Those who could work together, share knowledge, and hunt as a collective had a better chance of living through the harsh conditions. During this time, innovation was also crucial. Tools would have been refined, hunting strategies developed, and survival skills honed to new levels. The ability to craft and use tools would have been essential in the search for food and shelter.